Jeff Howard here at Kiteboarding.com, and we've been getting questions of our customers calling in, and what we're trying to do here is give you an explanation and give you the best information I possibly can get you on the understanding of different points of kiteboarding, boards, kites, bridles, and everything else. Right now we're going to be talking about different kites and bridling on those kites. Now, bridling on them, a lot of people ask us, bridles with a pulley or bridles without a pulley. Now, we've noticed in the lineup there's a lot of kites now coming in line that do not have pulleys on their bridles. And I'm kind of going to give you a little bit of explanation on that and the difference in the kind of the pros and cons. But there's a lot of kites you can have it either way is the main thing. It's not a big issue. It depends on how that kite flies. So let me do a little bit of explanation with some models that I have here and about some pulleys. What I'm looking at here, this is more of a hybrid type shape of a kite. Now, a lot of these are usually bridled with pulleys or even without pulleys. Now, the changing of the angle of attack and the difference is there. When you run a pulley on a kite, what this does is it allows the kite to change its angle of attack real smooth. As you can see, when you have your front bridles on and you're connected in, if you release on the back lines and the front edge wants to come over, you can see how the line rotates through that. That allows that kite to smoothly change its angle of attack. And in many ways, these are also used to decrease the bar pressure that you feel while you're flying. So bridles with pulleys, it's not a big issue. They definitely work for different models of kites. You will also find that a lot of the kites that are a bow or a flatter type design is definitely bridled with pulleys. Bridling with pulleys, again, reduces line pressure and allows that kite to change its angle of attack real smooth instead of being abrupt. And also, as you can tell, is when they're flatter, your bridle will come in a lot further on the insides from the wingtips when you have a kite that's flat like this. And that, you have to have pulleys on that to get that change of angle of attack. Now, as you get a kite that's more of a hybrid type shape, or nowadays they're bringing the tips further down and around, you can go into direct connect, and that's a bridle without a pulley. And when you do that, it's not a problem. What they do is they bridle and they extend out different chains of bridling to bring them out further toward the tips. When you do this, you do not have to have pulleys. Now, it gives a little bit more bar pressure and a different change of angle of attack. It doesn't pull it as far sometimes, but many of these, for instance, like the Ozone on the Catalyst, you can change that bridle a little bit up at the nose. If you bring the bridles, the supported leading edge bridles, and you bring them inwards, it will cause the kite to come forward a little bit more into the D-power. So changing of those angles is a big point you want to look at. You will see that in all your deltas as well. Some of your deltas now, the bridling is coming down a lot further, closer out toward the wingtips, not so far in. And you'll see that always the bridles that are far in are probably in most cases going to have pulleys on them. It's not a bad thing. The only bad side about having pulleys on a bridle is at some point pulleys can fail if they haven't jumped up to the bigger blocks. This is your standard Ron stand block right here. This is the kite block that almost all brands had been using in the past and still use in some different positions on the bridle. The kite block, just making sure to maintain these and take care of these, you usually won't have a problem, but we have seen some of these break. The other ones you might want to look at is the orbit block. This is the top block in the industry right now used in the kiting. You will see this in many brands. I've seen it in Nash, Wayman, and a few other ones that they're all starting to rotate to this, and as well as some of the Ozone bigger kites, I believe, have some of these Ron stands and some of their foils as well. These can take the major load. If the pulley fails, there's a line still through there that keep you from losing control of your kite. So looking at different bridling and everything else on a kite, it's not a big issue. When you come out to choosing what kite is the one that you want, a bridle or no bridle, the biggest factor it comes down to is fly that kite. You want to get out there and spend some time on it and make sure it fits your type of riding. Now, when it comes down to surf kites, there's a bunch of different ones out there. Stability in that kite is important. More kites are starting to come out without the pulleys on them, and that keeps the simplicity and makes that kite operate really well. So Jeff Howard here at Kiteboarding.com. If you're going to fly it and you want to buy it, get your hands on it. Really feel how that kite flies before you purchase it.